Hey there friends, thanks for checking in. This video is about the Glock I have always wanted, and wait till you see what I'm about to show you. But I want to lead in with this. I bought the CZ Shadow 2 back when optics were not a thing. People used iron sights. It was a hit right away upon its launch. People said I have to get my hands on it. I eventually got my hands on the Shadow 2. It was not cut for an optic, and I knew over time, and once I caught the optic bug, that I would really want an optic. So last year at TriggerCon 24, I met the owner of Danger Close Armament. He said, we could do that for you, no problem, and very inexpensively. So I set out my slide to him, and look at that cut and fit. It is perfect, a direct mount, and I have loved this ever since. It's as if it came from the factory that way, and it's such a nice cut. What I did not know at that time is that they were working on innovations to make Glock to its fullest potential. Far greater, because I've always kept my Glocks pretty stock. Yeah, maybe night sights, maybe some grip tape or something else, but they were pretty well stock. I didn't want to put forth all that money from this company, from that company, from this company to aftermarket myself to death with it. Danger Close Armament now will take your Glock. They can, I mean, it's up to you how you want to handle it, and create something like this. This is the Glock I have always wanted. It has so much here that I'm going to get it on the table and show you. But this is my Glock 45. Shall I say, it once was my Glock 45. Now it's a Glock 45 DCA, Danger Close Armament, because what they did is they modernized this. They made it way better. They even put a comp on there. We're going to head over to the table and talk about it, because they just might make the Glock that you have always wanted as well. Here is the company I worked with, Danger Close Armament. They did right by me, and I'm so happy we connected. But let's first take a look at the CZ Shadow 2. This has a Howelson 407K. Look at that direct mount. People have asked me, hey, who did that work? And I've told some people, I said, hey, video forthcoming. I was waiting till I got the Glock done, but look at that, it's perfect. And so it turned this handgun into a better shooting experience for me, and I love what it has become. I also love what this has become. Now, as I mentioned, I kept my Glocks stock, but I never knew with one company they could bring it to the point that this is, and we'll take a look at this. First off, they ported the slide and the barrel. See that? It's a chunk port, a big, huge port right there. They say it reduces the recoil or the muzzle rise by 30%. That is quite a bit. 30%. Look at the size of that port. The barrel itself is a Danger Close Armament barrel. It is fluted, and there's another look at the port. They do this not only for Glock, but they do it with many other makes and models. And much like optics on handguns were once not a thing, and then they became a thing, well, the same thing goes for porting. So that's a chunk port there. And then they moved the front sight forward or backward, and they put suppressor height sights both in the rear and the front for a clear view of that optic. The optic plate is made for an MRR. This is a Swamp Fox Liberty on there. The Glock MOS plates are one size fits all. They have the same 4 plates. They use them for all their handguns. This is a Danger Close Armament plate. It's pretty well a flush fitting plate, and it sits fairly low. The optic does. It sits fairly low, but it's just a better fit. And so they make their own plates, and the slide is as well. This is an LVL4. It is on their site. The reason I said take note of the plane, because you'll see the plane right there. It's also on the Danger Close Armament site. It has the forward serrations. It's super cool. It's got this texturing right there all throughout. I love the way they do this, and I can't wait to show you how that's mounted. But it has the fluted barrel, the ported fluted barrel, and everything on top here. It just makes it pretty amazing. The frame is an operator frame package. It has ambi shooter cuts. What does that mean? Well, it has not just index points, but a gas pedal right there. So my thumb rests on there. It's not a large gas pedal, but it does protrude a bit, so I can put my thumb on there. If you're lefty, you can do the same thing up here. It does offer a ledge, and it does have index points. Check out that Cerakote job. That is really a nice job. They call that urban camo with one-off mix of grays. Okay, I'm cheating a bit. I have notes because so much has gone into this and I don't want to miss it. But I think the Cerakote job looks beautiful. And the grip texturing is pretty crazy. They call this knockout. It is pretty aggressive. I love the way it feels. When I took this out, it was a very steamy and sweaty day, and I was able to hold on to the pistol. On top of that, the grip reduction 360 is much less. So when I take my Glock 19 and I grip it, my middle finger goes to approximately the middle of the grip panel. All right, see that? This, you can see, it goes further around. It is way better. They call a Glock a block. This, I don't feel, is a block. This I kind of do. All right, you guys know what I'm talking about. So they reduce this. They put knockout grip texturing on all around. Look at that. It looks great. They even add it up around here. They have the extended takedown levers. The trigger here is an Apex Gen 3 trigger shoe and Apex connector. And we'll go ahead and show clear all the way. Pretty sure I did that. Flat face trigger. Brakes right there with the reset. Very nice. Let me go ahead and show you, because I want to show you. I didn't bring it back far enough. So I want to show you this. Dual captive steel guide rod recoil spring. Here is the fluted barrel. And check out that front sight post and how it's mounted in there. That is serious. That thing is going nowhere, and it is metal. And same with the rear. Check out that branding. That's the DCA logo, fluted barrel, chunk porting. Great job. I think they did a phenomenal job. And I like the idea, instead of a single captive recoil spring with a polymer guide rod, they put a dual captive recoil spring with a steel guide rod. And that's another thing that many people change out, as well as an undercut. If I continue on with this, we'll keep going, but it's a beautiful package. They did a lot for the money, and they could do it for you too. Now, you could do what I did. Send in your handgun, and they redesign the whole thing. Or you could do it piece by piece. Say you want the knockout grip, you could do that. You have to check with them. I don't want to speak for them. I think I've learned enough about the company to make this video and to review their products, or their services, I should say. But they do a phenomenal job. I think you'll like it, and they can turn a Glock 19, or in this case a Glock 45, into something like this, which you and I both know is way better. So if you're looking for an optic cut on your Shadow 2 or many other models, makes and models out there, they do a lot of optic cuts, perfect fit. You ought to check out Danger Close Armament. Or if you own a Glock that looks like this and you'd like to turn it into something like this, or even a portion of that, check them out as well. I have been very pleased, beyond pleased, with what they have offered me so far. They can do the same for you. I highly recommend them, and I think those two handguns are way better than they once were. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and share. I always appreciate thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and you guys be safe.